These are some of the deliberations we have been discussing over the last few years in these conferences. In its advocacy for inclusion of persons with disabilities, Nondo supported the establishment and offered secretariat for the Frontier Counties Assemblies Caucus, the Frontier Counties Assembly Disability Caucus members, this MCS. We are having that caucus, and we are having the former chairs here. Mheshimiwa Dube is with us. We are also having Mheshimiwa Borle, who have been previous chairs and secretaries of this caucus. I urge the present members of county assembly members from these FCDC counties, please come together and elect your officials. Remember, this is a platform where a person with disability MCS can amplify disability issues. And as Nondo, we are ready to support where you require logistical issues in terms of information dissemination. Nondo also organizes such conferences and events like the Desert Wilderness and Fashion Show, not for the sake of it, decision making. We have various instruments that guides us and helps us, persons with disabilities, not to be called to be involved in decision making. Let us take lead in this process. Today, as the members of county assembly, as the officials of county and national government, you have the platform where you can articulate and raise issues affecting persons with disabilities. With those few remarks, I want to thank all of you for being present. Please provide your input so that we can bring it, we can take it to the agencies to implement those deliberations. Thank you so much.
A big applause to our chairman. Very, very powerful remarks there. And I hope as we continue with the day, we'll be able to interrogate some of the challenges he has raised in his remarks. Asante sana, our chairman. Now, kindly join me in welcoming our chief guests and our host, Isiolo County Government, to kindly give in their remarks as well as opening this conference officially. On the same breath, our chief guest will help us acknowledge the county officials, both national and county, to be able to also give in their remarks. So kindly join me in welcoming our chief guest, Isiolo County. Karibu sana. Bwana Joseph Eskuku, kindly help us usher in our chief guest.
Asante sana. Wale wote ambao wamehudhuria hapa kaunti mbalimbali au wamefika hapa, hamjambo tena. Basi kwa majina naitwa Joseph Eskuku, nafanya kazi na serikali ya kaunti ya Isiolo. Kwanza ningependa kusema kwamba karibuni sana Isiolo, kwa sababu I'm always very careful about the 14 laws of power, kwamba unapita Mwangi kisha akaribisha Imani Chief Officer. Karibu bwana Peter Mwangi.
Thank you. All protocols observed. Good morning everybody. Habari ya asubuhi. Mmekaa kidogo ni kama mko down. Habari ya asubuhi tena. Kwa majina naitwa Mwangi, I'm a Senior Assistant County Commissioner, na kama vile mmesikia kutoka kwa Esikuku, the county government and the national government of Isiolo works very closely in our activities, isn't it? Ndio tumekuja hapa specifically kwa niaba ya county commissioner. Nataka kukaribisha nyinyi wote mahali inaitwa Isiolo County. Mimi najua kwa sababu ya mahali mmetoka, maybe probably mmesikia jina ambayo sio mzuri sana ya county ya Isiolo. Lakini sana sana wakati wa kiangazi kama hii tumekuwa na ile inaitwa resource based conflict, kwa sababu most of the communities here are predominantly wale watu tunaita pastoralists. Kukiwa na kiangazi, of course, kuna hiyo issue ya maji, kuna hiyo issue ya pastures. Sasa kukiwa na hiyo conflict, unaona watu wanapigana kidogo, lakini as of now things are so quiet, isn't it? Karibuni sana our town ya Isiolo. It's a Francis town, is the best one. Kama mlikuwa mnafuatilia mambo ya elections, the last general election, kuna mmoja alikuwa anaitwa Wajakoya, alikuwa amesema akipata tu hii ndio itakuwa capital city. Mlisikia hiyo? Ni kwa sababu it is a very quiet town, it is a very good town to live, na the entire Isiolo County is peaceful. So I want to assure you of our security. Kwa hiyo muda yote mtakuwa hapa na muhakikishe kuwa mumesample our county kabla hamjatoka. So thank you very much and God bless you so much. I want now to take this opportunity, na mimi nitaomba tu tutasimama tu ndio tumkaribisha wa chief guest, tusimame wote. Thank you very much. Sasa nataka kuchukua hii nafasi kwa niaba ya all those people who are present here to invite our chief officer who is no other but Philip Mwambiriza. He is our chief officer of culture, gender and social services. On behalf of the county government atamwambia kwa sababu the other team wako mahali ingine, mahali inaitwa Mombasa, lakini atatuwakilisha wote. Sasa nataka tupige makofi mzuri. Mnakumbuka wale walizaliwa pale mbele kama mimi, kulikuwa makofi tulikuwa tunaita ya kilo. Mnakumbuka? So nikifanya hii tutafanya moja, second na ya tatu. Ni sawa? So itakuwa tatu tu. So moja, mbili, tatu. Asante, karibu chief officer. Thank you very much and God bless you.
Thank you very much, our ACC, Mwangi. Our MCAs present around, representing the persons with disability, the county executive committee member from Narok present, the chief officers present, the various directors, the chair of Nondo, and the CEO and staff of Nondo, our other partners from Garissa, LWF, UNHCR, our Ministry of Interior representing repatriation present here. Amjambo tena. Basi kwa majina ninaitwa Philip Mwambiriza Lenayasa. I am the County Chief Officer for Gender, Culture and Social Service, Isiolo County. Na kwa niaba ya our Governor, His Excellency Abdi Ibrahim Hassan, na wakaribisha nyote katika kaunti yetu ya Isiolo. Kama vile Bwana Commissioner aliwaambia, ni kaunti ambayo tumebarikiwa na mambo mengi. Tumebarikiwa kuwa na makabila karibu zote za Kenya katika Isiolo County. Kama umetoka Narok, utapata ndugu yako hapa. Kama umetoka Garissa, utapata ndugu dada yako hapa. Kama umetoka Turkana, utapata kaka yako hapa. Kama umetoka Samburu, utapata anti yako hapa. Kama umetoka Meru, hivyo hivyo. So we are the county that is representing the small Kenya, and we are the melting point of Kenya. We are the middle of the country, and so we also feel very, very, very grateful this time that we are again hosting the 11th Desert Wilderness meeting and the conference, the 10th conference for persons with disability in Isiolo County. Mimi na ambayo hii event inaendelea katika kaunti yetu, angependa sana kuwa na nyinyi, lakini Mungu akipenda mwaka ujao ataweza kujumuika na nyinyi. Basi ningependa bila kuchukua muda mrefu kurecognize the 8 counties ambao wamefika hapa. Kabla nitoe maongeo yangu, ningependa niwakaribishe ili waweze kusema neno moja mbili, alafu tuendelee na wacha yetu. Kwa hivyo ningependa kumuita na kurecognize ndugu yetu kutoka Narok, our CEC for Education and Social Services, Honorable Robert Simoto. Mtu anaweza mpatia mic kidogo azungumze kwa niaba ya watu wetu. Wenzetu wanao?
Good morning. As I've been introduced, I'm the CEC in charge of Education and Social Services, Narok County.
Okay, thank you so much, our CEC. I would like to recognize the presence of our brother from Turkana, the CEC for please, we would like to take the shortest time possible, 2 minutes, so that we can be able to manage our time. Karibu ndugu yangu. Yeah, no problem.
Amjambo. All protocols observed. My name is A.F. Lusikiria, CC for protection from the county government of Turkana. I'm not going to take much of your time. Just to let you know that people living with disabilities are treated fairly and humanely as part of the general population who have rights under the agenda of His Excellency the Government. They have all the programs where they are mainstreamed in terms of any assembly devices, support of calendar events, and provision of every other assistance that will help them to develop their talents to the fullest. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you very much, my brother. I now welcome our MCA from Samburu, Honorable Dube, and I would like to congratulate Honorable Dube having been nominated for the third time to the Assembly, to the County Assembly of Samburu as a person representing persons with disability. Karibu sana ndugu yangu.
Asante sana ndugu yetu Chief Officer. Nashukuru sana. Mimi naitwa Osman Adan Dube, nominated MCA na Samburu County. Vile mzee amesema mara yangu ya 3 kwa assembly. Nashukuru kwa sababu Mungu anafanyanga kazi yake. na mimi nimekuja na timu yangu ya Samburu County. Wasimame tu, wasimame. Hii watu ya sport director iko hapa na tunaendelea mzuri. Tangu 2013 tulianza mambo ya nondo, ninaona kama tunaendelea mzuri kabisa. Kwa hivyo ninashukuru director na timu yake vile umeangangana kulete. Wakati kwanza tulikuwa watu 5, saa hizi 15. Wale wamekuja hapa ni 15 na wanaongezeka tu kila mwaka, na nashukuru. Ya pili, inaeleza kaunti yote sisi kama wafugaji tuko na shida. Ya pili tena shida ameongezeka, karibu kaunti 6 hakuna MCA ya disable kusimamia ya county. Inahitaji kiti kidogo, kiti kidogo. Kidogo tu sasa. Mkono moja. Poleni kidogo. Kama county 6 saa hii hakuna MCS, sisi kama wafugaji na sisi tunahuzunika sana kama wakilishi yetu ya county assembly hakuna kwa assembly. Hii yumba Mheshimiwa Borle anaelewa ni yumba kila mtu anajifuta banda yake. Wengine kama ward wanafuta banda ya ward yao, kina mama na futa kama kutetea wamama wanzao youth hivyo. Kama hakuna disability ni tabu. Na ninaomba Turkana County ile mzee ameongea hapa na Narok na Wajia, Mandera, Isiolo, Garissa iko sawa, Marsabit, County 6 hatuna wakilishi kwa County Assembly. Na ninaomba kama County Assembly Public Service Board wale disable iko hapa na uko anasimamia county yenu na bahati mbaya hakuna MCA na silale, ufanye kazi. Kwa sababu ukiangalia county government ako na mambo yake, wamejaribu kusukuma kila mahali watu yote, lakini sababu ya siasa ya mlango fulani, kabila fulani na hii fulani, disability atabaki hapo hapo. Na ninaomba ndugu yangu chief officer, kama hakuna bill, hakuna disability itasaidika. Hii bill taenu atatoka kwenu kwa executive. Nyinyi tengenezeni bill, disability apate kwa MCS wapitishe. Ikipitisha board waunde, iendelee kazi hivyo. Kwa hivyo kama hakuna bill, ndugu yangu naomba county 10 kama hajapitisha bill yoyote ya disability ya kufund pesa, itakuwa ngumu kila mwaka walemavu utalia kila wakati. Kama saa hii Samburu, mimi nafikiri hata Garissa amepitisha saa hizi hii pesa ya sport ama pesa yote ya disability wataingia account ya disability. Juzi wameingia yetu kabla hata pesa nyingine hajaingia, sisi tukapata 5 million. Majamaa board wataendelea kusema mwaka huu tunafanya nini, na sisi kama oversight MCA tuna control juu na tunaendelea hivyo. Kwa hivyo mimi naomba kila county, ninajua Kajiado wako na MCA, Garissa iko na MCA, Wajia hauna, kama county 3 tu iko na MCA ile ya wafugaji. Sujui watu wetu nalala
sana kwa mawaidha ya maana sana ndugu yetu Dube mheshimiwa. Kwa kweli bunge zetu za pastoralist areas tunaomba ili tuweze kuwa na disability policy ama act ya kuweza kuhakikisha ya kwamba tumeweka walemavu katika mpangilio yetu, na ni nzuri leo katika hii mpango yetu tunaona vile tutaweza katika hii conference yetu ya leo tutaweza kuinclude PWDs katika decision making processes ya county na national government ama katika jamii kwa ujumla. Basi ningependa kuchukua fursa hii tena kumkaribisha ndugu yetu kutoka Baringo, director wa Youth and Sport, Bwana Paul. Baada ya hiyo nitawaita wa Kajiado.
Once more. Yes. My name is Paul Chesang, Director Sports, Baringo County. And before I say one or two, I would like to request the team from Baringo to stand up and wave. Kindly. Yeah, we came with a team of 12 people, the fashioners and the racers, but the fashioners are not here. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Nonto and the partners at large for considering starting this novel idea. Okay, thank you. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Nonto for initiating this novel idea, especially targeting the pastoralist communities. This annual event has become a reliable income to PWDs because when they come here and compete at individual level, they get a prize. And as a county, we have benefited twice with 100,000, with 50,000. And when you look at the individual of that, the life of that individual person, it has changed greatly. And it's not because of Nonto. I don't know how that life of that individual would look like. So we appreciate Nonto very much. As much as the prize from the Nonto went to the participant, we as a county also keep some little allowances. So this is an event that these people always really look for. When they fail to attend because of some resources, they feel so bad. And I want to appeal the counties involved in this Nonto. Let us, at our level, I'm happy that the CCs are here and the CEOs who are the policy makers put this one as a priority so that we achieve the objective for what Nonto had in mind. Still on the same, the forum has also created an advocacy for these people articulating their rights, their inclusivity, and participating also in all the spheres of life. In our county, I don't want to mention because the boss has said, the policies are in place targeting them. And I'm sure going forward, I would only urge the Nonto community to expand the territory at planning stage. We bring on board more partners, more stakeholders, so that we improve the resource envelope. And even hard, let us not remain at 100,000 for the first winner, because the economy at this time has really gone up. Otherwise, I want to appreciate more deliberations we shall put in when we go to the agenda of the day. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, our brother. And now welcome Mr. David Tuke, the Director for Kajiado Disability Mainstreaming.
Our government is really trying to support PWDs. We already have a regulation which is in place. It is the one that now we are using. And even with an allocation of about 10 million annually to enable us to do our own activities. We also have programs whereby it is being supplemented elsewhere, that is in finance. And our main activities is to empower PWDs economically, to enable them to do their own businesses. Because we thought that PWDs are able to manage themselves. Once we enable them, once we empower them, they'll be able to manage themselves and even their families. We are a county which try to ensure that PWDs are also just like any other person. Given the opportunity, they will be able to perform their own work and even show their own talents, like here in these games of Nondo. Also, another thing that we do is we give them bursary. In the county government of Kajiado, we have bursaries in education, the Ministry of Education, whereby PWDs are also given bursaries. But also in our own funds also, we have bursaries. We give them to a tune of 50,000. Although last year it dropped a bit because of the application. The applicants are becoming too many because they came to realize, even us, we came to realize that many PWDs want to go to school. But most of them do not get funds to continue their academics. We also do activities like the ones that we are here, that is games. And we really appreciate because we are part and parcel now of the Nondo team. I think this is our 5th or 6th year attending these sports. And we really appreciate because it is a showcase. It is a showcase to show, to ensure that we have our own talents, we can able to undertake our talents. Like now, last year, it is the Kajiado County. We are the crown holder for the fashion show. Actually, number 1 and number 2. But I believe that even in other counties, it's bigger. So that it may be even be felt in the world level. Because right now, it is just done once in a year. Maybe if Nondo and other partners and the counties can cascade these type of games to counties itself. So that we have competition within ourselves. And then it comes to national where we are today. And we really appreciate on that. So in Kajiado County really supports PWDs. We also have a bill which is already in assembly. It's just about to be passed. We also then got, because we have a nominated MCA, we used to have 2. This time around we got 1. We still appreciate for that because in each and every electioneering year, we have 1 nominated MCA. And that shows the commitment of the county that it supports persons with a disability. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You can see a lot is happening in the counties and quite good progress is being made and we are happy about that. And where gaps are available, then we'll be able to give the way forward this time. I would also like to give this opportunity to Tana River, Isa Abdi, the Director for Youth and Sport. then he will be followed by Garissa.
Yeah, good morning everyone. Okay. Good morning everyone. Nafikiri mnanisikia. Yeah, I am Issa Kabdi, Director Youth and Sports, Tana River County Government. Je, mnajua Tana River? Sababu wengi waliosimama hapa hata wakati walikuwa wanataja mifano za participating counties, sijasikia Tana River ikitajwa. So I would appreciate kama pia sisi pia tunajadili kwa sababu we are some of the marginalized counties in the country. So yangu itakuwa machache. I will first of all appreciate for the event organizers, Nondo, and the county governments ambazo wamefanya hii event ikwe successful, and more so the county leadership ambao wamefanya walemavu washiriki in this event, kwa sababu from where I sit haikuwa mchezo kuleta hiyo team ya Tana River hapa. Sincerely speaking, nafikiri watu wa Nondo wanajua. There was a time along the way I was almost withdrawing. Nafikiri kina Karanja wanajua. I almost withdrew kwa sababu ya financial constraints. So on the same length, ningeomba pia viongozi wetu wale ambao directly wako concerned na mambo ya release funds in time, for example MCS na other stakeholders, waishua kuwa hawa walemavu na hiyo team ambayo inakuja hapa wanakuwa facilitated in time and adequately ili washiriki kwa event. My CEC, my chief of staff is almost through at the assembly level, and we also have several policies ambazo tayari tumetengeneza at different stages ya completion. So on that front nafikiri tumejaribu, and kwa mfano on issues ya AGPO, access to government procurement opportunities, ili kuwapatia walemavu some contracts ili wakuwe empowered financially. We are trying, hatujafikia ile mali tulikuwa tunataka, lakini tumejaribu as a county. We have really tried. And then mimi hapa niliposimama, I have a request. Request ni kuwa sometimes unaweza ona kuwa we have all the necessary acts, we have all the necessary rules, regulation, sheria kwa jumla, lakini implementation yake hii mambo ya PWD yote iko kwa COG, Constitution of Kenya. County inaweza form policy, inaweza form act, lakini kuwa implemented now ndio inakuwa shida. So my humble request is viongozi wa national government, viongozi wa walemavu, viongozi wa counties or all stakeholders involved ambao wako hapa on behalf of interest ya walemavu, wa ensure kuwa si sheria tu, sheria zinaweza kuwa pale, lakini now implementation ndio inakuwa shida. So it's upon the leadership wa ensure kuwa all duty bearers wana implement hizo sheria, wana enforce hizo sheria, kwa sababu I'm fearing that kama hizo sheria zitafuatwa, even kuwa na sheria itself inaweza kuwa haisaidii. Finally, my request ni kuwa hii event ya Nondo, my humble request ni kuwa at least kama tunaweza fanya in all the other participating counties. Kwa mfano maybe the 12th edition ifanywe either Baringo, inaweza fanywa Wajia, inaweza fanywa Turkana, Samburu, all the other participating counties. Huwa inasaidia, inaleta ile sense of ownership na pia ina strengthen our resolve towards the interest ya hawa walemavu. Sisi tumejaribu, pia nyinyi pia mjaribu. Kiswahili wao wanasema saa nyingine ni muhimu kuachia ngazi kidogo. Tunashukuru Isiolo County, they have been trying, they have been hosting us, na sisi wengine hatuna shida ya kuja hapa, lakini sometimes wao pia waseme this is a big Kenya, safari wachia Marsabit. We are more than willing kuja huko na nyinyi pia the same breath muwe willing kuja Tana River. Kwa hayo machache, asanteni.
Thank you so much, our brother Isa. I now welcome Garissa, Abdullahi Ide, the County Director for Gender, Culture and Social Service.
Good morning. As you heard, my name is Abdullahi Legure, Director, Gender, Culture and Social Protection. Mine is to thank everybody who find his or her way to this vital or crucial event that we are holding annually. Now that we are here, we want to deliberate well and come up something that are vital, something that can add values to the life of people whom we're working for, especially the key interest group, including the disabilities, people living with disabilities. Other things that I'm coming with good, big team and good team, led by me and my partners, people from Radab, and my able Wazis from Garissa. Can the Radab team stand up, please? As you can see, we are a refugee hosting county. We have good partners, UNHCR, LWF, DRS. DRS means the refugee department, yes. And then LWF. We are a team of 7 officers, 7 officials, and 7 participants. So these are our team. We are here to represent the partners and the government. We are one team as a Garissa County. Thank you very much, team. You can sit. Also, although they are, maybe they are in coming from other assignment, other areas, but they also was here from Garissa. Mr. Dego is a new nominated councillor, MCA for slot here disability. Hussein, Honorable Hussein, former nominated MCA, slot here, and then the other officials. Thank you very much. Mine is just to request that the issue of disability, it should not be taken lightly. Nothing else can be done without our effort, without our concerted effort. Also, I remind my colleagues from the counties to include the issue of key interest groups into CIDP. Without CIDP integration, nothing we can do. Because all the partners and well-wishers and financiers, they come to borrow and live from the CIDP and the ADP. So it's high time that we are preparing our CIDPs. Let's put more effort to integrate the issue of key interest group, including the people living with disabilities, into our CIDP and into our planning document. And also, since now is a new change of guards, we collectively have a responsibility to engage with the new leaderships of both counties and national government, spearheaded by Nondo, so that this conversation to be taken another level. We came from very bad stance. Issue of disabilities, it was not there in Kenya before. It just taken recently, it's good shape. So let's not get tired. Let's move this ship to the right direction and the speed it deserves. Our Garissa County, we have several programs. We have already formulated our policy, gender, culture, and social policy, including the people living with disabilities. We have already developed policy, and also implementation matrix, of which we want to cascade to all the sub-counties and all the partners. Also, we have revolving fund for a key interest group, which people living with disabilities is among them. A revolving fund, which have got its own law and its own act passed by the Assembly, and it's going to benefit from a key interest group, including the disabilities. Also, our governor, His Excellency Nadif Jama, is so passionate about key interest group. He mentioned vividly in his inauguration speech and Mushajadi speech that he is there to stand with the key interest group by fulfilling their demand and by allocating enough resources to cater for their needs. With that, I assure you that as a director of this department, my work is to propel the agenda of key interest group into the government plan and documents and implementation. So I need anybody who is concerned about the counties. Are the COGs here? COG, are they attending the function? COG should, I request COG to fast track how the issue of the key interest group to be implemented fully in the counties. I think there's laxity somewhere. So, because the government normally only looks the hardware, they don't look the software, especially the politicians. They want something to show the people that I've built this one, I have constructed, I dug a well, but the software part is the people whom we're working. It's what do you call social protection issues, including disability. So I request the COG and the other national government and the county government to collaborate in order to see the plight of the key interest groups are met. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Garissa. Thank you very much, Garissa. I think, if I can remember, maybe you missed the last time, but your partners were present. And I would like also to take this opportunity. Garissa has a lot of partners whom they work with, and I'm grateful that they talk of having their bills, policies, which is a good thing. They have about 3 partners together with them, and they always travel together. That is a great teamwork, Garissa. And I would like to recognize their partners and give them a few minutes so that we can proceed. I now welcome Ms. Koki from Dadaab UNHCR, the protection officer for UNHCR Dadaab.
All protocols observed. Good morning. My name is Koki, as you said, and thank you all organizers, Nondo, for having us here, Isiolo County for allowing us to come and participate, and also Garissa County for working with us. Because when we are working with Garissa County, we are not working alone, and for sure we know that our persons of concern, these are the refugees, are in good hands. Currently in Dadaab, that's one of the camp in Kenya, because we have 2 camps, Kakuma and Dadaab, and then we have refugees in the urban living in Nairobi and also here in Isiolo. So we call them the urban refugees as well. Currently we have 200,000 refugees, and at the moment we are receiving of 48,000 refugees coming from Somalia because of drought, and others because of security. So out of this number of 200,337, we have only 600 persons who are with, which county was that? Narok County. They talked about policies, good policies, but now we need to lead. We need to walk the talk, you know. We need not to be behind. We have good policies as a Kenya government, but we need to do more. Currently in Dadaab, we are moving from camps to settlements, meaning that we are working closely with the Kenya government, with development partners, and the county government to be able to bring in sustainable solutions for refugees. As much as we are doing voluntary repatriation, where we allow refugees to go back home voluntarily, we are also ensuring that we now bring in sustainable solutions where we are bringing livelihoods. We are talking about education and refugees living among ourselves, like Uganda settlements, that you have refugees living within the Uganda population. This is the direction we are going forward. As much as we are doing resettlement, where we are giving refugees an opportunity to go to a third country, those are some of the solutions, but one main solution for us is settlements, where we are ensuring that refugees are working together with others, and we are now appealing the Kenya government to ensure that they open up doors for refugees, they open up doors for documentation for refugees, because how will they be able to work if they don't have documentation? Last but not least, I'm appealing to this conference, this workshop, or whatever you want to call it, I don't know, yes, to come up with our priorities, you know? What are we going to do in the next 3 months? What are we going to do in the next 6 months? So that by the time we are meeting again, whether it's in Isiolo or Garissa County, that we will come up and say, okay, this is the checklist that we did last time, but this is what we have been able to achieve. So from the speakers I had ahead of me, they talked about education, they talked about livelihood. So what can we do? I pose that to you, but we need to come up with action points, who's doing what and where and when. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Koti. You can see there is a lot also happening with our neighbors and in the refugee camps. That is great to hear. We have another partner, LWF, Mr. Dixon, the Community Service Officer. LWF is Lutheran World Federation. Yeah.
All protocols observed. Good morning. Yes, you have heard my name is Dixon. I work for LWF in Dadaab, whereby we have a program for persons with disabilities called CMPL, Community-Based Rehabilitation. And also we have primary education where we support inclusive education. And because much has been said by Koki from UNHCR, we work closely with them, and also the county government of Garissa, whereby we support both refugees with persons with disabilities and children with disabilities, for refugees and the host. And most of things have been said about policies and policies. The problem is not policies now. The problem is advocacy to implement the policies. Because you realize that if we get to know the difference between disability and impairments, we are able now to know what to target. Because now these days we find that disability is taken just as like a noun. Every day you find that in most of the documents, we find that there is something to do with empowerment of persons with disabilities, but very little is being done. For example, when we talk about disability, we say disabilities, limitation to interaction with the environment. Then impairment is lack of body functions or part of the body. So when we take these barriers from the environment, we create a generation or a community that is inclusive. So when we go back to our counties, our organizations, let's make sure that we make them understand we can create a generation whereby we have inclusiveness, whereby these issues to do with barriers can be social barriers, physical barriers, attitudinal barriers, because like referring to a person with disability like person living with disability, that is not right. That's issues to do with interaction. When you say this, we have an building that is not accessible, you are creating barrier. For example, there is a group that I normally talk about, hearing impaired. If we have a policy and implemented in the education sector, whereby we have sign language as a compulsory language like Swahili, English, we are able now to create communication. We can meet with the hearing impaired person, you communicate with him or her very well. When we have buildings that are accessible, you not get to pull out somebody, carry somebody to this building. When you are relating to these people with disabilities, you are able to create that inclusive environment between ourselves. So I thank you for inviting us to participate in this event. We appreciate, we have been partnering with Nondo and participate in this event for some years now, and we are looking forward to continue working with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, our brother. I now welcome the Department of Refugee Services, Ms. Sarah from the Ministry of Interior, who is the repatriation officer. Karibu.
All protocols observed. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sarah, as you've heard. I'm the repatriation officer, Department of Refugee Services. Department of Refugee Services has been working within the refugee setup since 2006. And currently our boss, senior most boss is Commissioner Kate Mwanza. And my immediate boss in the DAB is Colonel Retired Nguli. So he has sent me with this message that we are really happy that you included us, especially working with government and our partners, including UNHCR and all the other partners. The other partners that we work with are the Judiciary, National Police Service, Ministry of Education, and Department of Immigration. Our core function in the DAB is documentation. This means when a refugee wants to travel from Dadaab to Nairobi, they have to pass through our office. We give them a document to allow them to travel, and it's on limited time. You're given a limited period of time for you to travel. Secondly, we do administrative work that involves when the refugees are fully registered, they should be knowing what laws they are working under when they come to Kenya. And we also do coordination and relations with partners. We ensure that there is that flow of work. We also do, we handle also operations and procedures within the DAB, Kakuma, and we also have urban offices. Our main office is in Nairobi, General Madenge. Another office is in Mombasa, Malindi, Eldoret, and Nakuru. That handles the services of the refugees that are in urban centers. Most of the things have been said by my partner, Koki, but our durable solution, especially with the refugees within the DAB, majority of them are Somalis, so we encourage them to voluntarily repatriate back to their country so that they can rebuild their lives. And thirdly, our durable solution is in the current Refugee Act 2021. That involves affirmative action for women, children, and persons with disabilities. And that's why we are here. we would like you, especially the pastoralist communities, I can see many of you are Muslims. Most of them are Muslims also. We'd like to, you guys, you send some representative and come and talk to them as refugees, especially people living with disabilities. How are you as Kenyans handling life living with disability? Because as Koki said, we are trying to integrate and the refugees and the host community. We would like them, when we go through the resettlement setup, they have to integrate and adhere to the rules that are governing you guys. They will also be part of Kenyans. So we are really grateful that you asked us to be here, and I'm grateful. This is my first time to be here, and it's the first time for our department to be here. We promise that we are going to be with you from here henceforth. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Madam Sarah. I think now every participant has been recognized now, apart from our colleagues who came late from Turkana. Can I give them just 1 minute, the CEC, to introduce the team?
Thank you very much. All protocols observed. My name is James Matelek, County Director of Sports, Turkana. A team from Turkana, led by which one? This. Okay. Our team from Turkana is led by our able CEC for Education, Sports, and Social Protection. And may I take this humble opportunity to welcome him, because he's our team leader, so that he can introduce the rest of the members. Karibu Waziri. And maybe Waziri will say something on behalf of our team.
I already said.
Oh, you already said.
I already said. Thank you. Mimi nilikuwa nimemwekea mkono. I introduced him. I never speak twice. But that's good. I have the Director for Sports, James Nateleng. Am I audible? The Director for Social Protection, the County Disability Officer, the County Physiotherapist, Principal Sports Officer. We also have the County Chair. Can we clap for him? Deputy, Bwana Lucas Lokusi. Thank you. And then we have Madam Mary Ataba, who is a representative of the Disability Persons Organization for Turkana. We can clap for her. And we also have Resas. Huh? Where is Locheria? Mr. Locheria, the Deputy Chair of the Council of Elders for Turkana. Clap for him. And of course, the Resas. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much, Turkana. We can see Turkana is very, very organized team. I'm impressed they have even a physiotherapist in their team, a highly leveled team. I think without taking much time, I would like to give a little talk about our continued event and what we are doing. The Desert Wheel Race was started in 2012, and it started here in Isiolo, and it started as a small event, and then it was again hosted in 20 2013 and 2014, with 5 counties participating. At the start, I think we had as little as 3 counties participating, but between 2013 and 2014, we have 5 counties participating. And 2015, by 2015 already, 2013 and 2014, we had 5 counties participating. By 2015, we had 11 counties participating. And this event grew with popularity and participation across board. And it is, I can assure you, one of the best events for persons with disability in the East African region. We should recognize the importance Nondo has played in putting us together and other players, and of course, our county governments for continuously giving us resources to enable us attend this event so that we make it an event of substance. This event has always been preceded by a conference with a theme that puts advocacy and sensitization on persons with disability with what is going on. Like the past 2, before this event, was focusing on accessing technology. The other one was persons with disability in tourism areas. And I remember that time we held the event at Sarofa in Isiolo, Sarofa Chaba, and we invited tour operators, and they were able to see. And one of them actually designed a vehicle that is PWD friendly and gave us a video of how he moved friends from Spain to visit our important national reserves and national parks. And that motivated a lot of tour operators. We shall continue meeting. We shall continue having these conferences, having our race going on. But I want to challenge all of us to make this event an international event. And the only way we can make this an international event is in the way in which we participate, in the way in which we contribute towards it, in the way in which we popularize it, not only within Isiolo County, but also in our counties. This is very, very important because as an event, we should now face our sporting teams and tell them what does it make to make the Desert Wheel Race an international derby or an international event. Ultimately, if we do this, that is the only way our attention will get outside our country's borders, get into our neighbors' borders, and internationally we can be recognized. I want to take this opportunity to thank the organizers of the event, specifically for the well-thought theme of this conference today, advocating for mainstreaming engagement of pastoralists. And I like the word pastoralists, and I say it with capital words, pastoralists with disability in public decision-making process in anywhere. We know we always have things like AGPO, accessing government opportunity, procurement opportunities. We have things like gender mainstreaming, but we should go beyond this now and get into actualization of mainstreaming budgeting of PWD issues into our budgeting process so that they are part of it. This came in a timely way because this is the time the CIDP 3 is being made in every county. So this is the opportunity for the persons with disability and the partners and the county staff and the national government staff to make sure that persons with disability issues are factored in this CIDP 3. It is very, very important that they get involved, that during the public participation for CIDP, you scrutinize and make sure that your issues are covered. I would like also to take this opportunity to thank my team of Isiolo for constantly having been together with our counties that are visiting us, and that they have always found comfort in Isiolo. Thank you very much for your time and for also putting your efforts. You have traveled very far. Some of you come a bit early to rest in order for you to get into the event, and also in order for you to participate in this conferencing. I know it is a heavy calling from your part in the counties, and I would like to thank counties sincerely in a very special way for putting in resources to make this event happen. As my colleague said from Tana River, yes, it is a well-thought thing that we should have this event rotate in our counties so that we can also embrace knowing and seeing each other's place or counties. We shall continue exploring that, and I challenge the planners to continue engaging in this way and having as many as other counties that want to participate join us. But the fact that we are already a strong team, nothing is impossible for us to make it happen. I would also like to thank my team of Isiolo. They have done a lot of work. I know for many years, PWD in our county, we have always been struggling to have the PWD policy, but I assure you now it is in our CIDP, and it will be worked on in the first year of the CIDP. And we have a youth and persons with a disability and women enterprise development fund. We have an act, we have a regulation, we have a strategy to implement it, and now we know we have been having legal challenges with the controller of budget, but this time we should be able to overcome the hurdle. We have always been supporting our teams to go to play para-volley, and I'm very proud that they have been doing us proud, participating as one of the top 3 teams. And I would also like to say that we have been supporting Almasi School for the disability, and I am impressed that their chair is also present with us today. Our school for the deaf in Isiolo, we were able to support 2 classrooms to enable them continue with their learning. And we are engaging many other partners and like-minded partners to come and recognize the work we do together with our persons with disability. I know there is a lot to be done. We can't do everything within a day, but as long as we have the will and we walk the talk, there is nothing that is impossible for us to have inclusivity in our persons with disability in any forum. So with those few remarks, I think I would like to declare this workshop official or conference officially open. Thank you.
Asante sana. Nafikiri tungempa makofi mazuri zaidi kwa kazi nzuri. asante sana our chief officer Isiolo County kwa kuweza kutukaribisha hapa county na kwa kazi nzuri ambayo umeifanya kutukaribisha sisi sote na kufanya tusikie tukiwa nyumbani. We are actually feeling at home. Thank you very much. So mengi yamezungumzwa kutoka katika zile kaunti zote ziko hapa, na yes, we can see the gaps. There are glaring gaps that need to be addressed in terms of furthering the agenda of persons with disability, for them to be able to enjoy their rights fully and live dignified lives in this country. So we are going to continue with that conversation later on in the day. We have a series of sessions, 3 sessions that we have organized for all of us to take part in. So I will kindly request all of us to remain patient, even as we indulge in those sessions, because we are going to tease out the milestones, what has been achieved to date, what needs to be done, and how that needs to be done. I've had a lot of calls for advocacy efforts for all of us as stakeholders in this space. So there's a lot that we can do together when we are all united. So at this juncture, kindly allow me to allow us to take a health break. We've been sitting here since asubuhi. I know we need to go stretch a bit, energize kidogo, then we shall be coming back to start off the sessions for the day. And before we proceed for our tea break, I would like to have a group photo here at the front with all of us. So I kindly request all of us to come in front. We take that group photo, then we shall proceed for tea for 20 minutes because of the numbers, and then we shall be reconvening to continue with the sessions that are ahead of us. So asanteni sana, ningeomba team ya Nondo kindly, can you organize us kindly? We take a group photo so that we can proceed for tea. Nondo na Madam Kule.
Habari zenu? Mimi naitwa Alex Mnyere. I'm here to represent our Executive Director, National Council for Persons. To thank you Nondo kwa kutukaribisha. Asanteni.
My name is my name is Kule Wario. I work with the Commission on Administrative Justice, commonly known as Office of the Ombudsman. I am a lawyer by profession. I want to thank the host for inviting us. And I'm hoping, later in the afternoon, we'll be able to have an opportunity to interact more. But briefly, the mandate of the Office of the Ombudsman is to promote accountability and public participation through resolution of public complaints. But I'll have a session, like I said, and I'll take you through all that. Asanteni sana.
So asante sana National Council for Persons with Disability pamoja na the Commission on Administrative Justice. Tutawasikia zaidi. They have sessions, so we'll be able to engage with them further. So kindly allow me at this moment kumkaribisha mwenzetu kutoka katika County Planning Department aweza kutuzungumzia mambo kadhaa kuhusu planning and development processes. Na ni vipi sisi kama tunaoishi na ulemavu tunaweza kuhusika na kushirikishwa katika hiyo mipango ya planning. So allow me to invite Mr. Gabriel Manyinsa, the Senior Economist, County Planning Department, Isiolo County. Karibu sana, Bwana Manyinsa.
Okay.
No, this one is for the camera, yeah?
Okay, you have been told my name is Gabriel Manyisa. I'm a senior economist, county government of Isiolo. Areas. I'm not going to read to take you through more details, whatever you're supposed to do, but I will start highlighting on the key policy instrument in the planning docket in the county. So as a county government, most of the county government, there are some county policy instruments which guide planning and budgeting in the county. So to start with, we have long-term plans. Those are plans which are of more than five years. We have the sector plans, we have the spatial plan, and we have the county integrated development plan. Those are the long-term plans that guide the county in the development. As in the national government, we have the long-term plan, which is the Vision 2030, which is implemented through what we call the 5-year medium-term plans. And the medium-term plans are rolled out as the CIDP, which is 5 years plan. Like now, at the national level, we are in the 4th medium-term plan. As the county, we are also in the 3rd CIDP generation, CIDPs. At the county, those plans, like now the CIDP, the county cannot access funds without this 5-year plan. So right now, the counties are preparing the 3rd generation CIDPs, which will inform their development for the next 5 years. And those 5-year plan, like now I said, the 5-year plan, the CIDPs, are implemented through annual development plans. Those are plans which are done yearly by the counties, and also the national government does. But in the planning and the budgeting process, you always plan 1 year, you implement another year. What you are planning now, we are going to start implementing it on July next year. There are also other documents we do. Those are now the budget documents. Like now the budget review through paper. This one is looked for the review of the past and also make a forward projections. There's also what we call the county fiscal strategy paper. It's like now the policy statement done in the national government. There is budget estimates and also the other county policies that guide and the regulations that guide the county government. While doing all of this, we are supposed to involve the public through the public participation. Preparing all of these documents, you need to involve the public. So it's through this public participation and also through the sector plans, the sector working groups, that the disabled members are supposed to participate in this development of this document. Like now, we are doing the CIDP. Currently, all counties in Kenya are doing the CIDP. In doing this CIDP, they are going to do several public participation, involving most of the partners, most of the community members. They are going to be involved through the public participations. But still, on the public participation, I can say we have some challenges as counties. And as you know, our new constitution requires that whatever you are doing should come from lower levels. That's bottom-up approach, of which I think even the current government talked about bottom-up. So there is a sequence on which this planning process goes. You start from a long-term plan. Like now you can have a plan of maybe 30, 40 years, and that plan you are going to implement it in the in a short-term plans. There are 5-year plan, there's a 1-year plan. Like now the Vision 2030, which was started a long time, it was being implemented in 5 years through medium-term plans. We have done 4 medium-term plans. The same, if the county can have a long-term plan, maybe of 40, 30 years, and can implement it maybe in 5 or 10 years. Like now, what we are doing the CDP for 2023, 2027, which will be implemented through the county annual development plan. Once we are done with the CDP, we do an annual development plan. This annual development plan is going to inform the budget for next year. This year we are doing the annual development plan. We were supposed to do it by 1st September, but because most of the counties don't have the CDP, it has been delayed. And also, once you have done those things, what we call the public expenditure framework, it's a cycle. This is now the budget making process. You start from reviewing the policy and also the previous plans. Like now, right now, in the development of the county annual development plan, we start by reviewing the previous plan and also the policies. We see what we didn't achieve and why we didn't achieve. Then from there, we set what we call set policies and undertake planning. We start now, focus the future. Then we mobilize resources. We look at what will be the available resources. How are we going to test resources to implement these set policies and also the plan. And then once all those has been done, you implement the planned activity through the budget, then you monitor, then you evaluate. But now, that was just a summary of the planning process. I want to go straight to the timelines before I go to issue of the disability, because it's very important. Then on February, we are supposed to have done the county fiscal strategy paper and the county debt management strategy paper. Those ones go hand in hand. The fiscal strategy paper is the one that gives the ceilings for the sectors and also talks about the priorities for the county. And the debt management strategy talks about the debts for the county. And if I want to, before I move down, in the annual development plan, if you want your things to be in the plan, you start from the annual development plan. Make sure the things which is in the long-term plan is the CDP is captured in the annual development plan. Then also make sure that when you go to the sector working groups, that's after the sector working works between now, between October up to around February. That's where you are supposed to make sure that your inputs goes in. Because the CPROP, the County Budget Review and Outlook paper, it gives tentative ceilings to sectors on the ceilings that are going to work. But now the fiscal strategy paper is the one that gives the final ceilings. So if you want your things come in, work, make sure it comes in before the county fiscal strategy paper. Because once the ceilings have been given, it becomes difficult to roll because it cannot be changed. Maybe after the budget has been approved. And that's where most county departments make a blunder. They come to negotiate after the county department make up. They come to negotiate after the county fiscal strategy paper. After the county fiscal strategy paper, tunataka pesa. Na pesa already distributiwa. By 30 April, the budget estimate has been submitted to the assembly. And in all of those steps, the county executive does public participation and also the county assembly does public participation. If you are not satisfied with what the county executive has presented to the county assembly, you can do a memorandum to the county assembly or you participate in during their public forums. So I think I will not talk about the other things because those are like now cash flows. Once the budget has been done, and when you are doing your implementation, you should follow your cash flow. How do you prepare your cash flow? You said in first month, I'm going to get 10 million. Don't request for that million. When in your cash flow, you said you are going to get 10 million. So those are the things that need to be done. So because of time, I just go straight to disability and inclusion in the county planning and the budgeting. And all stakeholders in the county are supposed to be involved in the planning and the budgeting issues. And the voices of certain stakeholders should be given more weight based on such factors as basic. Like now, you cannot give, when you are doing public participation, maybe you cannot give the same people equal levels, because there are some people, like now the disabled people, you have some disadvantage. You are supposed to give some more time during maybe this issue like public participation or a special sitting with the people living with disability. So those are the things that we are supposed to do there. But I also look at when I look at the budget lines for supporting disability in most counties, okay, mzee umeongea vizuri, nimekuambia the money for disability was not utilized. And the reason it was not utilized is because of the gazettement of the act and the regulation. So it's the Department of Culture Social Service to make a follow-up and make sure that that act and regulation which was approved is gazetted and also is in tandem with the Constitution and the PFM Act. Once you slightly deviate from the PFM Act, the control of budget cannot approve. So you make sure maybe, because you have been having those things, like now, the emergency fund, it had issues. The bursary fund had issues. But see, they called the legal people from the control of budget, they started with it, they sorted the issue, they took the assembly, it approved, and now the bursary and the emergency fund is being utilized. But for the issue of the disabled, the youth and the women, it has not been gazetted. That's the first thing. So that's the challenge. Because of time, so there are some recommendations which can help you to be represented in the budget and the planning process. Like now, you need the disability people need some education on the planning and the budgeting process and the cycle. The county departments also need to be educated on disability and exclusion registration, planning, budget, and implementation. We need to mainstream disability across our department at the county level. We also need to disaggregate data in terms of disability, gender, age, as per the United Nations standards. We need to carry out the needs assessment involving persons with a disability annually before the budget making process. So we need to know some of the needs of the person with disability. We also need to, the 30% allocation for access to government procurement opportunity for persons with disability, youth and women should be apportioned appropriately to each of the target groups. And we need to develop disability policy and review policies to ensure that they include disability and the county policies. So, some of the challenges, I'm not going to talk how to address it, but I could give the challenges we face in the public engagement. We have challenges on when you are carrying public participation, the communities, maybe the people want some handouts, payments. So that's and we can address that through making public participation accessible in terms of location, and allowance should be limited to exceptional cases in which specific individuals' invitations are made. Because here, if you call a public participation meeting, the entire town comes and everybody wants some handouts. There is also difficulty in accessing some information, so counties need to fulfill their proactive disclosure as outlined in the Access to Information Act of 2016. The high cost of public participation. The county also needs to allocate some funds. Inadequate representation. You find that when we are doing a public participation, some class or some group of people are not represented. There is also error capture. You find some people, there are some specialist people who want to make some contribution while ignoring the others. Issue of language, timelines, and also inadequate decentralization of the public consultation. Maybe we do it in a county instead of lowering it to lower levels like the village. So in ensuring that there is a clear environment in planning and budgeting, we need to have a very clear purpose and the goals for public participation, clear structure and the process, and also commitment to the process, and finally, inclusive and effective representation. I think because of time, I will just stop there.
Thank you so much. Yeah, asante sana Bwana Manyinsa. I think ameweza kutupatia kwa ufafanuzi zile processes ambazo zinatumika katika county planning na development. Now I think Bwana Manyinsa, in your department, I think there's need I think we have a budget for public participation. There's more need for us to be able to reach out to these interest groups so that we can also continue sensitizing them on their roles and how they come on board for them to really amplify their voices in these planning processes so that they are well represented, their issues are well represented and captured in the county development plans so that, again, we can now see some progress in terms of, the issues that are coming out as challenges for persons with disabilities.
But there's something I forgot. In Isiolo, we decided to influence the CPF county budget and review outlook paper so that we can have at least one representative from the disability, and I saw him here. Okay. So that the person who is representing disability you should use him to air your views, because that is a very high level in the county government.
So asante sana kwa hiyo clarification. I think pia sisi kama watu ambao wanaishi na ulemavu kuna umuhimu ya tuweze fanya nini, kujitokeza na kuhusika zaidi katika haya maswala, na tuko na viongozi wetu. So I think the challenge is on our leadership as persons with disability to ensure that we are working closely with the county government so that we can address our issues as persons with disabilities. Sawa sawa. Yeah, so I think asante sana, but naona kuna umuhimu wa kuendeleza hayo mazungumzo hapa katika county pamoja na stakeholders wengine ili tuweze kuwa tuna work pamoja katika masuala ya maendeleo. Thank you so much. Tumpatie makofi ya nguvu kabisa. Yeah, thank you so much Bwana Gabriel, na tumeshukuru. I think now we are a step ahead in terms of that awareness and what happens and how we need to be involved and engaged in these processes. So bila kupoteza wakati, ningeomba tumkaribishe Bwana Danish Odongo ambaye ni Executive Director wa The Wellness Tribe. Atatuzungumzia tu jambo ambalo ni muhimu sana katika masuala ya ulemavu na kwa mara nyingi yanapuuzwa sana na yanatuathiri zaidi kama watu ambao wanaishi na ulemavu, na atakuwa akituzungumzia kuhusu masuala ya mental health in relation with corruption. Ni vipi ufisadi unatuathiri sisi kama watu ambao wanaishi na ulemavu katika jamii zetu. So karibu sana Bwana Odongo, na ningeomba muda, tujaribu kuchunga muda, but pia agenda iwe itaweza kuwasilishwa. Asante.
Thank you. Firdaus, naomba microphone and anayo kule plenary. Good afternoon everyone. Good afternoon everyone. Nataka kuomba wale ambao wanaweza kusimama tufanye exercise tu kidogo tu ya dakika moja alafu tuketi. Kama unasema tafadhali simama. Tumeketi sana, si ndio? Tumekaa sana. Wale ambao wanaweza simama tafadhali tusimame. Pole pole sana. So nataka tuchore coconut. Wangapi wanajua coconut? Nazi, si ndio? Nataka tuichore physically. How do you draw coconut? Tunaanza na C. C inafanywa aje? Stretch kabisa mpaka chini. C hiyo, C nataka C iende chini. O inafanywa aje? Hivi. Alafu C nyingine hii side nyingine. Alafu O. N inafanywa aje? Hivi. Usianguke chini tafadhali, usianguke. N fanya hivi, N. And then U hivi. And then T. Sawa, tufanye haraka basi. C. O. C. N. Nimesahau O. Turudi nyuma, tuanze tena fresh. C. O. C. O. N. U. T. Basi tukae chini, mjipigeni makofi tafadhalini. Okay. Wangapi hapa wanajua neno ufisadi inamaanisha nini? Inua mikono nikupe fursa unijibu. Ufisadi. Ufisadi inamaanisha nini? Kuna pass the microphone here. Hapa. Ama unaweza nini? Okay. Kufuja pesa. Is the microphone on? Okay, sawa. Kufuja pesa. Pesa za nani? Ukivuja zako hiyo ni corruption kweli? Yeah. Ama individual. Okay. Nataka upatie microphone Isaac Abdi. Atuambie ni pesa ngapi tunapoteza kama nchi kila mwaka. Abdi, jitambulishe, utuambie unatoka county gani na una represent organization gani. Let's have one meeting please. Very briefly nitakuwa nimemaliza. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Once again, Mr. Kauri, Director of Youth and Sports, Isiolo County Government. So,
okay.
600 billion is the amount Kenya loses to corruption annually, according to the ethics.
Okay, 600 billion. Mimi sijawahi ona milioni moja na macho yangu hivi cash. Wangapi hapa wameona milioni moja cash na mkono? Wangapi hapa wameona? Kunayo kweli? Sasa hiyo 600 billion ukipanga hizo mashilingi kutoka Isiolo, mimi naona utazunguka Kenya mzima yote kama umepanga hiyo pesa. Yaani unapanga 1,100 utaipanga mpaka uzunguke Kenya mara ngapi? Mara kadhaa. Can we imagine how much money that can do? Another thing, Abdi, kuna nini tena hapo? Patia Abdi microphone tafadhali aongee. Okay, sawa. Project Abdi.
Shillings.
2,000.
2,000 shillings. The Somalia report 2018 cited the fact that terror networks drive Kenya's border police with as little as 2,000 shillings they allow to enter the country.
Okay, tukiongea kuhusu corruption, huwa tunaona mambo ya tender na vitu kama hivyo. Lakini how many of us remember the Garissa University attack? Tulipoteza wanafunzi wangapi kule Garissa? 140? Mnakumbuka 147 ambao tulipoteza? Ndio Al-Shabaab waweze kuvuka boda, wanapeana hongo ya pesa ngapi? 2,000 peke yake. Maisha ya mwanafunzi wa Kenya ni 2,000. Ni 2,000 ndo thamani ya Mkenya. Now 2,000 peke yake ndio 2018 report ilisema ya kwamba polisi wa boda zetu wanabrabiwa na 2,000 ndio Al-Shabaab waingie. Na mnajua ile terror wanafanya. Tukiongea kuhusu corruption, tunaongea kuhusu kitu ambao inaguza maisha ya kila mtu. Ya mwisho Abdi. Yeah.
Money spent.
Okay. Isiolo ina watu wangapi kwa population? 200 and? Watu wa Isiolo mko wangapi kwa county yenu? According to the 2019 census. Si mko about 250,000, ndio? Imagine ile pesa tunapoteza kwa hii nchi inaweza hakikisha ya kwamba Isiolo County as a whole tumefundisha mpaka tukagraduate kwenye university. Imeingia kweli? Ile pesa tunapoteza, it can educate all of you in Isiolo County mpaka mgraduate university. Ndio kila mtu hapa wakiadvertise kazi ya Isiolo, hakuna mtu anaambiwa ati haujafanya nini? Hauja qualify. Kwa sababu kila mtu atakuwa na degree. Wanasema kule kwetu Kisumu that if you throw a stone, you're likely to hit a what? A professor, ndio? Sasa itakuwa ni Isiolo. If you throw a stone in Isiolo, if we stop stealing money, everybody in Isiolo will have a graduate degree. Think about that. Now, let me bring it closer. Now, to Madam Abdi. Naomba mpe microphone pale tafadhalini. Amba unaweza project tu. Can you project? Okay, sawa. Good afternoon. Okay, tungoja hapo. Watu wa Samsung walikuja Kenya ku-establish their farm. Wakasema kwamba wafanyikazi wa serikali wanataka bribe, wakahamisha wakapeleka wapi? Ethiopia. Kama Samsung wangefungua branch yao Kenya, ingetupea kazi vijana, akina mama na walemavu, si ndio? So kumaanisha ya kwamba sio ile pesa tu inaibiwa pale 600 billion pekee inaibiwa kwa sababu ya corruption na ufisadi. Watu wanatoka Kenya wanaenda nchi zingine mbali, wanaenda kufanya nini kazi? Another one? Yeah. Skip your, enda your next. Abdi? Yeah. Next, enda your next. Okay. Sawa. Okay. Tuko pamoja. I want you guys to be angry so that when you go back to your county, you see corruption for what it is. When somebody, kama sasa hivi mnajua ile corruption imetajwa kwenye media katika hii county. Si mnaijua? Ni pesa ngapi by the way inasemekana imepotea? Kuna watu 3 wamepelekwa kotini, watu 4 wamepelekwa kotini. Wanasema wameiba pesa ngapi? Anybody in Isiolo hii ambao amesoma news? Ni ngapi inasemekana imeibiwa ngapi? 200 million shillings, ndio? So 200 million shillings inaweza fanya kazi gani hapa hivi Isiolo County? Kwa walemavu, wale ambao wanahitaji assistive devices, 200 million inaweza nunua ngapi? 200 million inaweza fundisha wanafunzi wangapi ambao wana ulemavu Isiolo County? 200 million inaweza nunua dawa hospitali ngapi? So let me ask you, jameni, that's why we need to organize, because these people are not just stealing money, they are stealing our livelihoods. Mnasikia hiyo? Wanaiba nini? Wanaiba nini? Wanaiba livelihoods. So when they steal 200 million, usiangalie kama hiyo ni 200 million, iangalie kama assistive devices ya walemavu. Iangalie kama pesa ambayo itapeleka watoto wa yatima waende wapi? Waende shuleni. If they steal 200 million shillings, angalia ile barabara ingefanywa tarmac. Angalia ile hospitali ingekuwa na dawa. Angalia ile assistive device ungepata kama mlemavu. Na tuseme ya kwamba jana tumefanya hesabu ingine kidogo. Walisema Kenya na lose bilioni ngapi kwa siku? 2, si ndio? Mnakumbuka tulisema hivyo? Tukaipiga hesabu tukasema walemavu Kenya mzima wako 900,000. If you divide 2 billion shillings per day na 900,000 walemavu, unapata 2,222 kwa siku. If you multiply that times 30 days, ile siku tu yani wafanyikazi wa serikali waseme hatukuli leo, hatukuli pesa za wananchi wa Kenya, we can make sure tuna transferia kila mtu ambaye ana ulemavu 66,000 shillings per month. Mmesikia hiyo? Yani wacha tuseme yani for 1 month waseme atukuli hiyo bilioni 2 juu tumeshiba, ama juu tunaogopa kulaaniwa, ama juu tumeonea wa Kenya huruma. Waache kukula tu hiyo bilioni 2 tu. Do you know that we can transfer 66,000 Kenya shillings to each and every person with a disability, yule ambaye ana kazi? Okay, if I give you 66,000 shillings today, unatafanya nao nini kazi? Kazi gani? Nataka tu kusikia ideas. 66,000 shillings kwa pocket yako kila mwezi. Uko Isiolo na una kazi na 66,000 shillings inaingia kwa mfuko yako kila mwezi. Just give me an idea of what you can do with 66,000. Pale, thank you. Mtaje anioni somo, yeah. Yeah, Matthew. Yeah. Okay. Inua sauti kidogo. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Okay. 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 Itamfanya akuwe millionaire. Makofi kwake tafadhalini. So we are saying with 66,000 shillings we can make millionaires in Isiolo County, si ndio? Okay, wacha tuseme kwamba ni chakula tu unahitaji. Breakfast, lunch, supper. Unahitaji pesa ngapi kwa siku? In Isiolo, breakfast, lunch, supper. Okay, wacha tuseme Turkana basi. Turkana unahitaji pesa ngapi kukula breakfast, lunch na supper? Tuacha tuseme umekunywa chai ya maziwa, umeweka masala ndani yake, sukari na mandazi breakfast. Mandazi 3, si ndio? Ama mnakulanga pesa ngapi? 600 shillings, si ndio? Which means kama unakula kwa siku tu, unakula 600. 600 tukimultiply na 30 ni pesa ngapi? 18,000, si ndio? 18,000 shillings, si ndio? Which means if we give you 66,000 shillings, utakuwa umekula breakfast, lunch and supper for 30 days na umespend 18,000 shillings. Tukitoa 66,000 shillings from 18,000 shillings, bado unabaki na about 40 something thousand shillings. Hiyo 40 something thousand shillings, so utakuwa umesave pesa yako. Umefanya mali yako, si ndio? Okay. Now, let me bring this to a close. The biggest problem in Kenya right now ni kazi. Ukweli, uongo. Na right now we have a president who said they want to do bottom up, si ndio? Is there any bottom kuliko bottom ya walemavu? Kuna watu ambao wako chini zaidi ya walemavu ambao hawana kazi. Kwa sababu kama wewe ni mlemavu, uko na barriers ambazo zinakuzuia kwenda shule na to gain meaningful employment kama watu wengine ambao wako able. Si ni ukweli? So let me ask you, if today we just tell President William Samoei Ruto, we don't want you to do anything else, we just want you to stop these people from stealing our money. Akiweka mkono hivi kwenye mali ya umma, apeleke wapi? Apeleke wapi? Afanye nini? Apeleke kotini na nyang'anyo ile amekula, si ndio? Ni hivyo. Na by then nimeona story moja, I don't know whether this is insensitive, but nimeona story kwamba kwenye nomadic pastoralist counties watu wanaiba na waibi tu, wanaiba wanatumia kwenda Mecca nayo. Yeah. Unajua? Yeah. Wanachukua wanapeleka wapi? Kule. It's very bad. It's very bad. Na, do they think that kuna laana itawafuata siku moja? Wanajua kuna laana kweli? Wanaogopa Mungu kweli hao watu? Hawaogopi Mungu. Na wanaenda kanisa, si ndio? Na wanatoa kanisa, si ndio? Na wanajenga msikiti, si ndio? Na wanapeana kwa watu ambao ni wajatima, si ndio? Let me say this. I don't just want us to talk about this na ishe hapa. Can we come together one meeting tafadhalini? We will not read any more of those things. I want us, tukitoka hapa, kazi yangu ilikuwa ni nifanye mkasirike sana. Ndo mkirudi kule kwa county zenyu, mu-organize. If right now we have 8 counties represented here, na mkue na network ya walemavu kutoka 8 counties, na mseme one of the things we are going to deal with ni moja tu, ufisadi peke yake. Tutaipunguza ufisadi kwenye county zetu. Na tukipunguza ufisadi kwa county zetu, we are able to have money in our pocket. The county planning team wamesema ya kwamba kuna kitu inaitwa CIDP. Mimi nataka mkitoka hapa kama walemavu muungane na mseme ya kwamba what is the one thing we're going to push on that CIDP. Kama ni mambo ya assistive devices, make sure ya kwamba wakifanya hizo ma CIDP mko na mahitaji zenyu na muende kwa hizo mkutano na mfanye nini? Muongee na wao. Sawa? Ya pili, nataka muangalie Auditor General's report. Najua ni kitu kubwa na ni technical sana, lakini ukiangalia Auditor General's report, angalia tu pale. Wanasema nini kuhusu kaunti yako ya Turkana, Garissa, Isiolo. Wanasema ni receipt gani hazijarudishwa, wameenda nje ya county siku ngapi, wametumia pesa ngapi kujipatia allowances, na maybe girlfriend ama boyfriend ya wao watu wamepeleka hoteli gani. Muangalie, tunamkishaangalia, muandike petition kwenda kwa county. Mseme ya kwamba we'd like to have an explanation on this. And then last but not least, it starts when we are united. As I come to an end, kwa sababu of time, wangapi hapa unajua mambo ya depression? Inua mkono kama unajua mambo ya depression. Unajua anything about depression? Okay, thank you so much. Okay, wangapi hapa unajua mambo inaitwa suicide? Suicide, ndio? Okay, wangapi hapa wameona mtu yote ambaye anatembea akiwa labda uchi ama unaokota vitu kwa barabara yoyote hapa, hapa the Isiolo, Turkana, wapi kila mahali? Umeona watu? Anyways, ndio? Do you think that's a disability? Yeah? Is it a disability? Yeah? How many of us wanajua CRPD? Wangapi wanajua CRPD? Thank you. CRPD inamaanisha nini? Sauti tafadhali. Where is the microphone kwake? Okay. Conventions of right to report disability. So, do we have people with mental health issues are supposed to be considered living with disability? Yeah? Okay, yes, why? Unseen disabilities, ndio? So let me bring this home. The number one leading cause of unseen disability is poverty. If you're raised in a family ambayo hakuna chakula asubuhi, mchana na jioni, chances of you developing an unseen disability iko juu. So can you imagine, wewe ni mlemavu, you have a physical disability. In addition to that, you also have an unseen disability. Do you see the burden? Muna venye burden ni ngumu. Apart from having a physical disability, bora tu uko na akili, unaweza ukadevelop an unseen disability. Now this unseen disability is even worse because kuitibu ni ngumu sana. Kutibu schizophrenia, kutibu bipolar, kutibu ADHD, hata autism ni ngumu sana sana sana. Now, when somebody takes your livelihood, mtu akichukua pesa zako, zile ambazo zinafaa kununulia dawa, ukule na uweze kupata mahitaji yako, unapata ya kwamba chances of you developing mental health problems ziko juu sana. And therefore, as we live here, remember that when they are stealing from you, they're not just stealing your house, they're not just stealing your wealth, they are also stealing your mind, and they are stealing your peace of mind. And I don't know why I haven't seen anybody here with unseen disability, but I hope that Nondo and the team here will involve people with unseen disability. So, if Kenya loses 2 billion per day, na nikasema ya kwamba we have 900,000 people with disabilities, we can make sure that tumewajengea robust safety net for every person living with disability in Kenya so as to remove destitution and unnecessary pain. We can hire enough teachers to plug the gap, buy assistive devices, and guarantee every person living with disability in a dignified life. As I go to sit down, I live with an unseen disability. My organization, the Wellness Tribe, inafanya kazi na Nondo to promote unseen disabilities amongst nomadic communities. Kwa sababu gani? Wakati wa COVID tulipata tabu sana. Venye walifunga barabara pale, watu kutoka hii region ambao hawangeweza kuaccess medication ya psychiatric help, hawangeweza kuja Nairobi. And therefore I'm looking forward kupartner na nyinyi tuweze kuadvocate for inclusion of people with unseen disabilities na to make sure that we continue to advocate for their rights, kukuwa na medication, kukuwa na psychotherapist, kukuwa na watu ambao watawasaidia. With those few or many remarks, I want to sit down and may God bless you na tuzidi kuongea. Asante sana.
Asante sana Bwana Odongo kwa hiyo session ambayo umetuangazia na kumulika masuala ya ufisadi na ni vipi sisi tunaweza tukajihusisha katika kuensure pesa za umma zinakuwa managed appropriately and effectively. So we have a role to play na tumeona mikakati ni gani ambayo tutaiweka. Sawa sawa. So makofi kwa Bwana Odongo. Haya maswala na haya mazungumzo hatuwezi tukamaliza hivi leo. So it's a conversation we are hoping will continue even in our respective counties. Sawa sawa. So we are just packing a discussion so that we can be able to pick it up and run with it within our respective counties so that next year when we meet, God willing, we shall be able to revisit and ask ourselves 1 year down the line, what is it that we have done as counties to ensure that persons with disabilities have been their issues have been well addressed and they are making progress in terms of ensuring that their space is well protected and they're being engaged accordingly on all issues of their lives. Sawa sawa. So it's a conversation tutaendelea nayo. Sasa ningependa munipe nafasi nimwalike msemaji wetu wa mwisho siku ya leo kutoka the National Council for Persons with Disability, a very, very important public institution ambayo wataweza kutusaidia kuangalia ni mikakati gani tunaweza tukaeka ili kuenhance hii accountability ambayo tunaizungumzia. Sawa sawa. So nisaidieni kumkaribisha Bwana Alex kutoka kwa National Council for Persons with Disability ili aweze kutugusia mambo mawili matatu, yani vipi sisi tunaweza kuhusika katika kuensure there is accountability in all aspects of our planning and budgeting processes within the counties. Makofi ya kilo. Asante. Karibu sana Bwana Alex.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Madam. All protocols observed. I said that my name is Alex, and I'm going to take very short time because I'm aware that we are all hungry. We need to go and put something in our stomach. Together with me, I have a team, some of whom have stepped out. We have an officer in charge of Isiolo County, Mr. Philip Choya. He has stepped out. And from the headquarters, we came with our head of programs, Madam Winnie. She's also out. And we also have a gentleman there called Nchapit Samson. He's in our PR department. And when I came here, I found another colleague who was brought by the Turkana County. Ewoi. Ewoi is our county disability officer in Turkana. Now, I want to start by that, nianze na hapo. Kwamba a county that is working in an area like Turkana is able to enhance all the departments that are there that are working towards persons with disabilities, and when they are planning their things, they don't leave it out. So Turkana, I want to laud you because out of your own way, you thought of planning together when you had this invitation from Nondo. When you are planning to come here, you decided that we cannot leave an officer from the central government who is in this county representing persons with disabilities, or rather programs for persons with disabilities. So that is one of the opportunities, madam, if you can allow me to mention that. That opportunities are here, but somehow we don't take them. We don't use them. And we, like for example, in the national government, where I come from, we have a lot of programs that are targeting persons with disabilities. In county governments, I was hearing all the counties, including my home county, Kajiado, mentioning what they are doing for persons with disabilities. Sawa sawa. We have NGOs that are vibrant and doing programs for persons with disabilities like Nondo here. In fact, we should enhance, or rather synergy, or rather put our synergies together. We should emulate what our government is doing. You remember when the president mobilized resources, he mobilized resources to mitigate hunger and the drought that is ravaging our country. He called governors, he called private sectors, he called NGOs, and together they have strategies on how to mitigate hunger. So why do we leave out persons with disabilities? That is my clarion call. Number two, from where I sit at the National Council, we have a legal department that is helping persons with disabilities to enhance accountability in public service delivery. That legal department, whenever there is a case, they enjoin themselves as friends of the case, of the court. And we should, from our counties, we should fight to have our members represented in all appointments. Like for example, recently we had counties failing to appoint MCAs. And I've just confirmed with our home county, Kajiado, that we have an MCA appointee representing persons with disabilities. However, from where we sit in the national government, we are aware that some counties did not nominate MCAs, or rather IEBC did not nominate MCAs to represent persons with disabilities. Now we are calling upon all of us to work together towards that, because the National Council is working with NGEC, National Gender and Equality Commission, and other DPOs like UDPK and the caucus of persons with disabilities in IEBC to have this list amended. However, this list, according to IEBC, it can only be amended by a court order. So, what is Nondo and all our counties, like for example, mukiwa Turkana mukona disability representatives, do you sit and relax? While your neighbor, Baringo, I'm not saying Baringo don't have, I'm just saying as an example. Do you sit and relax while your neighbor do not have a representative for persons with disabilities? Now this is a clarion call for Nondo to look at strategies. You know, strategies means you either can put on, unavaa koti na tai na suit, unaenda ku-engage to make sure that counties appoint representatives for persons with disabilities. Or on the other hand, strategy number 2 inaweza kuwa ni kumobilize watu waende barabarani, wakafunge barabara na waseme hamutapita kwenda hiyo bunge kama hamuna mlemavu atakayewa represent. Those are strategies. And I'm not telling anybody to do whatever, but I'm saying it is upon you to think of strategies to enhance representation for persons with disabilities. Na sio kwa county parliament peke yake, all appointed committees, including public service boards. Those public service boards should have representatives of persons with, able to agree hapa. Munaweza kuwa na MCA, lakini kwa public service board hakuna mlemavu. Kwa sijui nini hakuna mlemavu. Ukienda kwa mashule zile ziko huko, secondary schools boards hazina hata representative of persons with disabilities. Ukienda kwa committees za CDF hazina representatives. CDF committees within our pastoralist communities, how many of them have representatives of persons with disabilities? And we should start from taking information. Tunaangalia. Tuulize officer wetu, hata National Council officer, tuambie ni walemavu wangapi wamekuwa represented in all the committees within your county, so that from there now we can take strategies to assure representation. Now, we know that the government is offering incentives to potential employers of persons with disabilities. Now, these incentives are enshrined in our Disability Act 2003. We know that it is illegal, lakini hapa sasa sijui sasa itakuwaje, kwa sababu sheria inasema all appointments you must make sure that there is a third of those appointed must be of different gender, si ndio? Na kwa hiyo pia in the same spirit tunasema also make sure persons with disabilities are also appointed. Sasa juzi kulikuwa na mawaziri na ma-PS, na sijui kama kuna hiyo sheria ambayo lakini mtaniambia baadaye, hiyo siko hapa kusema. We have the National Health Insurance Plan that is happening. Now, NHIF, we know that has a very good package for Kenyans. Very good package that is affordable. But now, what we are doing at the National Council is to engage NHIF so that they have a special package for persons with disabilities. Indeed, we know that we have a package for those with severely disabled. Those who are in cash transfer, they automatically get NHIF cover. However, we want to broaden this to include all other categories of persons with disabilities. Now, we have things to do with inclusive transport, things to do with education opportunities, where we have budgets, bursaries, and CDFs, and all that. Now, it is upon us from the leadership of the counties that we come from to ensure that persons with disabilities are adequately represented. The other one is Tana River and the other 10 counties. Tana River, mpo. I heard Tana River talking. Senior? Yes. There is this program called Mifugo ni Mali that was launched in your county by KCB. Are you aware? Mifugo ni Mali. Ni nani anajua hiyo? Mifugo, sio mifuko. Mifugo like sheep, cows and donkeys and camels. Mifugo ni mali. It is a program that KCB Bank started to buy and encourage farmers to sell their weak animals when the drought comes. And then when they do that, they also do, they give skills to the people they buy the animals from to empower them with like table banking skills and other skills to utilize that money. And when it rains, they also helped to see how they are going to restock. That program is running. Now, my question is, how many persons with disabilities are being targeted in such a program? Do we have persons with disabilities selling and being involved, being trained in such an undertaking? Ama tunaona tu vitu zinakuja tu within our counties. That program was launched in Tana River County. I don't know why Tana River people hawakujua. Na kama walijua, hawakujua kama inafaa kuulizwa maswali ya kwamba okay, you are coming to launch that. But how many persons with disabilities are you targeting in this program? And this is a clarion call for all of us. Anything that is happening in your county, within, hata si county, hata kama ni kwa ofisi yako, within that small office that you hold, ask and you should want to know what is happening for persons with disabilities. Hata kama ni mjengo inajengwa kanisani ama mosque ile wewe unaenda. Some of us, we go to churches, others we go to mosques. Si ndio? Ukiwa hapo kanisani tu, wewe ni member tu, hata wewe si pastor, you are just a member. Ask the pastor, what are you doing to accommodate accessibility for persons with disabilities? Usiache tu kitu iende tu hivyo tu ukiangalia tu. Are we together? Yes. So that is what I wanted to bring about. The last thing I want to say, because I know you guys are hungry, is about AGPO, the LPO financing. And some presenters here said that their counties are LPO financing. Yes. At the national government, National Council for Persons with Disabilities, we have 15 million that is set aside to enhance LPO financing. This money tunachukua tunapatia KCB. Maana tulikuwa tunapeana direct. Tukapatia walemavu wakahepa na pesa. In fact, right now as we talk, we have about 9 million, close to 9 million, that was taken by persons with disabilities. We financed their LPOs. They were paid behind our back, and sasa pesa imeenda. Imebaki tunakimbizana na wao. We are running after them all over. So we said, let us give this money to KCB. KCB, they are not going to charge any interest. Watapeana on our behalf. They are only going to charge the interest of 2% to cater for their running costs na kitu kama hiyo, which we have an MOU signed with them. Now I want to encourage counties. When you sit to do, I heard counties ziko hapa na wako na disability laws. Those disability laws should target such programs. That indeed, yes, tuko na walemavu wetu katika county ya Isiolo. Na tuko na opportunities za procurement opportunities within this county. Tuko na wale ambao tuna target kupatia LPO, wa supply ama wajenge barabara ama wafanye nini. Na tunajua hawa ni watu ambao hawana pesa. So, tuna set aside county ya Isiolo, for example, tuna set aside 5 million. Ili yule mlemavu atakayeshinda tenda na hana pesa ya kufanya hiyo tenda, anakuja, tunampatia hiyo 5 million, or rather part of that 5 million, anaenda ana supply whatever he is supplying, na kwa sababu pesa ni yetu na fund ni yetu na sisi ndio tunamlipa, tuna deduct hapo, yeye anaenda na nini? Na profit. We want to encourage counties to start thinking in terms of helping and empowering their people. The last thing, my presenter, the one who has just been here, ameongea juu ya corruption, akaongea juu ya pesa inapotea, and he was giving an example of 200 million. I wanted to say 200 million is actually what the National Treasury gives the National Council for Persons with Disabilities. 200 million ndio tunapewa na serikali to run programs that are across the country. Yet at the same time, we have the national MPs, CDF, MP moja in one constituency, moja tu, anapewa 200, anapewa 100 and I think it is 120, yeah? What? CDF. One? It's around 100, let's 120. That is, hiyo ndio ilikuwa last time. Sijui kama imeongezewa. 120, 1 MP. So 2 MPs are getting what the council, the National Council is getting. Now, National Council is a national organization that is covering clients from all over the country. Now, there is an opportunity here that in ASAL counties, in counties that are nomadic from pastoralists, we have a lot of money going in CDF. There is even an affirmative action where there is that fund for arid and semi-arid lands. Yes, it's a government fund. So we should enhance and make sure that we know where this money is going. Ama hii pesa inatolewa tu alafu inaenda kununua magari kubwa kubwa at the expense of paying for our services as persons with disabilities. We should question that. And I want to concur with my presenter there. Alikuwa anasema question, enda uulize swali. So I'm also saying, even us from National Council, we want you to put our officer on his toes. Unamuuliza, this time assistive device ni ngapi zimepatikana kutoka national government? Anakuambia. Umepeana checks ngapi za education, bursary? Anakuambia. Because we have also told them to form beneficiary welfare committees. Even before they give names of people to be funded for education, lazima ipitie kwa ile committee. Si ndio? Ile vetting, county vetting committees. So, nyinyi mnauliza vetting ya persons with disabilities wale wanapewa pesa ya county, ya council, ilivetiwa na nani? Ni nani alipata? That kind of thing, so that we can enhance transparency and accountability. With that, I think I want to stop at that. There is a lot we could say, but for now, I think we want to stop at that. Karibu, madam.
Asante sana Bwana Alex, tumpigie makofi ya nguvu kabisa.
Nimesahau kuleta salamu za special greetings from our Chief Executive Officer and a former CEO wa Nondo. Saa hii yeye ndio mkubwa wetu. Na amesema tuwasalimie, mumesalimika? Ametuma salamu na akasema anawamiss sana Nondo. Na angetaka kurudi, wakati atakaporetire huko, angetaka kurudi. Mtamkubalia arudi? Haya basi, ndio hiyo, salamu imefika.
Asante na tumepokea salamu za Bwana Harun. Ningeomba kabla hujaondoka, kuna tu swali moja peke yake ningependa ujibu, alafu tutamaliza. Moja peke yake. Haraka. Moja tu, napeana nafasi moja kwa sababu ya muda. Tutaona baadaye.
Hello. Kwa majina ni Cherutich Richard, Baringo County BWD's Paralympic Secretary. Mimi niko na swali. Katika hii ofisi ya National Council, mko na mawakili wangapi? Sababu sisi kama BWDs hata sasa tunapoongea sana sana tumechanga pesa yetu kutumia ili kuweza kuassist kwa ile mambo ya petitions ya BWDs. Hiyo ni swali yangu ya kwanza. Swali ya pili ni hii. Ukienda kwa data ya Kenya Bureau ya data ya Kenya, in most areas unaangalia kwamba data inatoa ile population ambayo iko chini sana. For example, in Baringo Central tunaambiwa BWDs ni 1400 kwa Baringo Central. Ili hali ukiangalia watu ni wengi kuliko hiyo. Sijui kama nyinyi kama National Council mko aware namna hiyo, sababu tunaambiwa assistive devices ama zile vitu ambao zinahitajika zinakuja kwa ground according to the data. Swali ya pili ni hii. Swali ya tatu, katika Kenya mzima ukaangalia ile pesa ambayo wazee wanapata elderly katika Kenya ni 11 billion. Lakini ukikuja kwa BWDs wameandikiwa 1 billion. Ukiangalia hiyo hata ukienda kutaka kusaidia hata kugawa ni chache sana, hata hawezi kuwafikia. Nyinyi kama ofisi ya National Council mtawezaje kutusaidia? Na swali ya mwisho ni hii. Kuna hizi mahalls ama manyumba specialty hospitals, ukiangalia washroom zao sio accessible na BWDs. Ama ukienda kwa mtu anakuambia ili kusudi county ichukue hatua lazima pawe na act ambaye itaonyesha kwamba hawa andikiwe barua. Nyinyi kama National Council mtaweza aje kusaidia BWDs ili kuona kwamba walemavu kwa ground wamesaidika na hiyo act mko aware? Na kama mko aware mtafanya nini ili kuweza kuona kwamba hii act imetimilika? Asante.
Okay, asante sana kutoka Baringo Central. Maswali muhimu sana and I hope yote ata represent yale maswali mengine yote tulikuwa nayo, tafadhali Okay, Bwana Alex.
Thank you. Na nafikiri ni vizuri tuelewane. We are rushing out because we want to go and eat. Si ndio? I wish kama tungerudi tena. Ndio msione kama ninaogopa maswali. Turudi tena tukae chini na to create a forum ya National Council versus the services that are offered. Maana saa hii sikuambiwa niseme services za National Council, si ndio? Lakini saa hii nitajaribu kujibu. Swali ya kwanza uliuliza ni mawakili wangapi tuko na wao. Sasa tuko na ofisi ambayo iko Nairobi ya legal office. Lakini katika hiyo ofisi what we are doing and we are pursuing ni kupartner na Law Society of Kenya na zile vikundi zingine zinazohusu legal, ili tunaomba Law Society of Kenya tukiwa na kesi Baringo for example, right? Kuna wale lawyers ambao wanajitolea, wanaita pro bono services that we are doing together with Law Society of Kenya, ili tuweze kutumia lawyers ambao wako huko all over the country wanaoweza kujitolea kupeana huduma bure kusaidia walemavu. So if you have a case, na angalia, hatuingii kwa kesi kama sisi ndio wenye kesi. Hata wewe tunakwambia umekuwa violated rights yako, enda kwa serikali, piga ripoti kwa polisi. Kama ukitaka kuchukua lawyer, chukua lawyer, na kuna vikundi zitakusaidia kuchukua lawyer. Lakini sisi tunakuja kotini kwa hiyo kesi kama interested parties. Sasa hiyo nitahitaji labda mtu ambaye anajua sheria anielezee ama asaidie kukueleza zaidi kuwa interested party ni namna gani. Kwa mfano, juzi tulikuwa na hii kesi ya IEBC na petitioners akina Ruto na akina Raila. Si tuliona hiyo kesi? Serikali waliingia kama interested party on the side of IEBC. Lakini IEBC walikuwa na lawyer wao. But the government lawyer ambaye ni Attorney General akaja kama interested party. That is exactly how we operate. But we will advise you, we will tell you, legal officer wetu atakuadvise na atakuambia strategies na mtaagree vile mtaendelea ili usaidike kwa hiyo kesi. Swali lingine ni data. Umeuliza juu ya data, information ya wale ambao ni watu wako na disabilities, maana hiyo ndio inasaidia katika kugawa resources. It is true. To start with, katika kugawa resources, it is true. To start with, mulistage of 900,000 out of 42 million. If you tabulate that, unaona iko chini. Maana kama ingekuwa 1 million, 42 million, 10% of 42 million ni 10% of 42 million. 10% of 42 million, wale tunajua mahesabu, ingekuwa ni 4.2 million. Si ndio? 4.2 million. So, if we were 10% of persons with disabilities, ingekuwa 4.2 million. Na saa hii tunaambiwa tuko 900. Meaning tuko around kitu kama 2-3% of the population. And we know World Health Organization wanasema out of any normal population, including America, Britain and Kenya, normal population, 10% of any normal population, 10% lazima iwe ni walemavu. Kwa nini Kenya imekuwa ni 2 ama 3% ndio wako na ulemavu? Halo? Ni kwa sababu hii data yetu ya kufanya census haikuwa correct. And as National Council, we are engaging with Kenya Bureau of Statistics to have either a survey or whatever it is, ili to disqualify hiyo data. Maana under normal circumstances, we cannot be 900. We cannot be 900,000. We are supposed to be either 4.2 or above. Maana sisi we are developing country, then na disability tunajua in development, disability and poverty, they are mothers and fathers and brothers. We are supposed to be around, kama tumeendelea sana ni either 12 or 13%. Meaning we are supposed to be either 5 million or something like that. Are we together? Nimekujibu hiyo? So, kuna shida. Na ndio sababu tunasema tunataka kufanya sio census, survey, a disability survey. Uliuliza swali ya cash transfer. Cash transfer. Pesa ambayo tunapata ya cash transfer ni kidogo. Sijui kama ulitaka kujua nini juu ya cash transfer. Lakini clarify tu. Oh. Okay. Nimekuelewa. In fact, kwa elderly people hata kuna hiyo siasa, by the way, hata nilikuwa part of wale tulikuwa tunapiga siasa. Tunasema kuna hiyo siasa ya cash transfer ya elderly. Unaona wale elderly wanapeagwa wote. Ukifikisha miaka 70, ni 70 eh? 70. Hata kama uko na milioni 10 kwa bank, you are entitled to go for cash transfer. Yet persons with disabilities tunapea cash transfer wanapewa wale wako na severe disabilities. Wale ambao hawako employed hawapewi. Wale ambao identification ya persons with disabilities inakuwa ati ni severe disabilities. Identification ya wale wa elderly people inakuwa ni age. So there is a big disconnect. Kwa sababu saa hii mtu amepewa pension, ameretire kwa serikali na amepewa pension, amekula pension na warembo huko Isiolo Town, amemaliza alafu anaendea cash transfer. Na yule mlemavu hata hakuwahi kupata pesa na ananyimwa. So there is a big problem there. Na sitaki kuingilia saa hii. Maana hiyo ni shida kubwa. Ya mwisho ukauliza juu ya accessibility. Tuko na department ya mainstreaming, wanafanya accessibility. Na indeed, yes, we are empowered by the constitution to give Disability Act, to give adjustment orders. Like hii hoteli tukikuta haina disability accessibility, tunaweza kuipatia barua na tuipeleke kotini na tuifanye nini na tuseme hii building ibomolewe kwa sababu it's not disability friendly. Lakini hiyo ni sheria. Je, practicability ya hiyo kitu iko wapi? Na tukiwa tunafanya na ofisi yetu, National Council for Persons with Disabilities, we can be able to put organizations, offices that are within your county, we put them on their notice. Tunawaandikia barua. We are entitled, we are given that power to give adjustment orders. So come to us, we will give you, or whichever institution that we identify, tutaifanyia disability mainstreaming audit, alafu tutaipatia barua. Kama ni nyumba, tunaweza sema ibomolewe. Hiyo tuko na hiyo sheria.
Thank you so much, Bwana Alex. Tumpigie makofi. I think hii ni conversation ambayo itabidi tuendelee nayo kwa sababu ya muda na maswala ni mengi. So ningependekeza kwa sababu ya muda we stop at that. But should you have any follow-up questions or queries, kindly feel free to reach out to all the speakers ambao wamezungumza leo. We have Bwana Alex pale kutoka kwa National Council, atakuwa na sisi hapa hadi hata jioni, tuko na event ingine. Mr. Odongo ambaye alizungumza kabla ya Bwana Alex yuko hapa na wale wengine wote. So feel free to engage with those speakers, na kama uko na maswali tuulize na tutaendelea clarify. Sawa sawa? Yes, so I think hadi hapo ningependa kuwashukuru kwa dhati speakers ambao wamekuja wakatuzungumzia mada ya leo, advocating for meaningful engagement of pastoralists with disabilities and their involvement and engagement in public decision. So huu ni mchakato ambao tutauendeleza in our respective counties, in our respective areas, sectors. Pia sisi kama watu ambao wanaishi na ulemavu, we need to be at the forefront kuendeleza hii discussion na hii conversation. Sawa sawa. So ningeomba to stop at this, but before we stop, I would like to call upon my colleague, Madam Fatma, the CEO of Nondo. Atakuja, atatoa vote of thanks, alafu tutamkaribisha Mheshimiwa Borle ambaye ni our board member at Nondo kuja kupeana the official closing remarks, alafu tutaomba tuvunje kikao kwa leo, and then tutaendelea na Madam Fatma atatuambia what else is in store for us. So keep it here, right here with all of us. Otherwise, from me, asanteni sana kwa ushirikiano wenu. It's been an engaging day, and I hope we will continue with this conversation. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.
Oh, good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's always a challenge talking when people are waiting to go for lunch. I'm not going to take a long time because mine is just before our board member come here. Mine is just I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank all of you here for, especially the counties, for participating, for showing interest in learning about disability issues, for enabling persons with disabilities to attend this Desert Warriors and its event, for allocating the budget to come here. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart sincerely for all you are doing for persons with disabilities in your county. I also want to extend my gratitudes to the National Council and all the stakeholders who are here today for finding time to come here for presentations that we have had today. And it's really informative. We have had a lot of information and we have learned a lot. And thank you so much. Thank you so much to everyone for wanting to learn about disability and wanting to make a better world for everyone. Let's continue working because we are only starting. We are not where we want to be. So let's not give up. Let's continue working. Okay, finally, I would want to invite all of you to today's event, the Desert Fashion Gala, which is going to be held here later tonight around 6. And then tomorrow, I would like to invite all of you to the Desert Wheel Race event. It's going to take off, it's going to be flagged off around 8:30. So please, let's be there and support our people and also cheer them up. Thank you so much, Mr. Borle. I am inviting you for the final remarks. It's all right.
Okay, thank you, Madam Fatuma. I think people are really hungry, and I think from the program I can see I'm supposed to take you through way forward. Way forward requires that we come up with what my colleague said, called checklist this morning. In the past, you used to have a declaration, which we used to call Isiolo Declaration, which contain, plans of what we want to do. But I'm seeing time is not on our side. So probably during our lunch, we'll think about, everybody has to think of what to take home and ensure that they will at least implement certain issue which they have taken from here, that between now and the next event, we'll do ABCD. That's what especially with our counties. Right now, most counties are working on their CIPD, County Integrated Development Plans. So we make sure that we include disability through the CIDPs. And we also demand for inclusion in the employments which are going on. Most counties are also advertising positions. So be empowered. Live here while you're empowered to call for inclusion. I think those are what I will now turn the way forward into sort of advice, because if we are to come up with proper way forward, we need to engage each other. And nowadays, the process is participation. Everybody is supposed to participate and come up with issues that will include in the proposed way forward. But now that we don't have time, it will be like recommendation. So those are some of the recommendations that we have to have. And I think we have gone a long way. I would like to thank those counties which have continually participated and have taken this event seriously. Actually, nowadays, some counties have been overtaken. Like Garissa, Wajir, Mandera, those counties which started are now being overtaken by new counties which have joined somewhere in the middle, like Kajiado, Baringo, Narok, Turkana. I really commend those counties because they come with the teams and they are serious, and they facilitate their people. And I think they are utilizing the resources properly. Unlike some counties where you don't see effective participation and support for the participants from those sites. I think with those few remarks, can we just pray for lunch? Thank you. Yeah. Start that. Ama watu kama hawajachoka, we engage them. If people are not tired, let's engage them and come up with a proper way forward. Can we please continue? If you are not tired, we'll call for proposals and we write down those things which we take forward. Amen.
Thank you very much. And all the best in the remaining events. Karibuni lunch. I hope everyone has a The makeup artist